If your mind is quiet, and you're not bothered by a lot of things to do, just sort of rest in yourself. That turning your attention onto yourself, your experience of yourself from the inside, is the beginning of a new era for most in your lives. I know a lot of people think they know themselves, and they're talking about their emotional reactions to situations. But I'm talking about something different, which is to be aware of every part of your body, every cell in your body, so to speak, if it manifests itself to you. When you explore consciousness, the first one you encounter is that of yourself. And in this state, that self is you. And if you just sit, feeling yourself within, you will feel increasingly happy. When you're utterly quiet, and introverted your consciousness, to not be aware so much of the external world, but of your own body and mind within. At first, it's like exploring a new world. You have no idea what you'll find. You'll find out a lot of things about concentration too, and awareness that you didn't know before. And possibly for the first time, you're becoming aware of awareness within yourself, consciousness. So turn your attention around. Hear my voice, but don't attend to it by concentrating on it. Just float free. Let the consciousness grow within your body. Turn your attention totally within. I know it's hard to know how to turn within when you can't find something to be inverted. But just imagine going backwards into your body. Instead of looking outwards, you look inwards and also try to feel inwards. The first thing that you experience is a descending consciousness. It descends onto you. You become aware of yourself as body, mind, and as spirit. But just as you could know a truth coming from outside, how much stronger of a truth can you learn if you turn within for confirmation? Or you get up to a point where you're aware of yourself and you can pose questions to yourself. Ask for whatever reason you want to ask it. Your task, so to speak, is to expand your consciousness inwards as much as you've developed awareness outwards and outward awareness throughout your life. Now, instead of trying to understand Jack or Jill or the White House, Donald Trump, or any other person you could think of, instead, just quiet down. And when you start being quiet enough, you'll notice that the silence begins to pull on you. The silence shrinks the circle of your awareness closer to you, inside of you. When your awareness is focused on the body, it can also be simultaneously focused on the extent of your own consciousness while sitting alone. You might say that meditation is the foundation of everything in spirituality. The more aware you are, you can say the more conscious you are. But when you can turn that awareness on consciousness itself and on awareness itself, you've entered a path traveled very often by some in some countries. not often in this country. The benefit is immediate. I feel the glow in my hands, touching the wood thing I have on the waist to hold the camera straight. But when I look inwards, all that I do is feel bliss. If I let it, I could follow that bliss all day and all night in a trance with it. Because even after you get used to being very aware, consciousness from the inside, what happens when you turn your consciousness on yourself always is the same. It's an explosion of consciousness. You're simultaneously aware of yourself, what your body feels like, aware of the darkness within. You're aware of the air conditioning without and the sounds without. You're aware of other people around you. But mostly you're still aware of your body. You can call your body your home. It's not really. Turn your attention around and look into your heart area. And you're used to looking within. In the darkness, looking within. It will lighten. So it's almost like daylight when you look within. But what is important is what you will feel. Your body becomes completely still. And as you turn your attention around to explore various parts of your body, of what's going on there in terms of feeling, of function, to notice a sense of bliss. Maybe not the first time you try meditation, but maybe the 1500th time. You'll start to feel a bliss inside yourself. And the longer you sit and the quieter you sit, will there be a longer attending to yourself. Eventually, you can get to the place where your body and mind disappear, and yet you're not asleep. But the biggest function, meditation, one of the biggest functions, that consciousness performs is when you attend to it. And consciousness attends to itself. You feel the beginning of bliss inside of you. I know there are many who practice meditation or thinking about it or have done it once or twice. Think, what do I care? This. I want wisdom. I want understanding. I want a direct contact with physicality somehow within myself. But no matter what you do in meditation, it's always addressed to your own sense of self. You know, if you go to a Zen-oriented meditation center, you'll find almost everyone meditating a lot. And after 15 minutes in a coming day of perhaps 12 hours, you don't feel anything. You know you're looking inwards. You know you're looking at the mind. But there's nothing there. But your mind is steady. It's not moving. And you begin to feel bliss within you, all around you. Now, it's important to know about the bliss because it's part of the reward of self-investigation. The ability to feel bliss. Because that close attention on your body will lead to attention about your mind too. Now you're living a life within. The life without begins to dim in meaning to you. You say to yourself, I've been living the life without for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. And it's time to find out what life is like inside, according to my own awareness. So then you learn how to expand your awareness. You play with it. You play with meditation. You play with self-awareness. You play with other awareness. You'll play with the silence. And after you've gone and done that enough over a period of 6 months or so, what you encounter in meditation begins to change. When you can sit and go into samadhi, there's so much joy inside of you as you're feeling yourself, as well as the energies around the body. The various fields around the body too. Electrical, sensual. And you're learning the art of silence. And the peace that it brings. When you quiet your mind and just look within, feel yourself. And after several minutes, your meditation deepens. Your body gets hard. Doesn't feel that hard, but it does in a different way. When your joy feeling comes, may have been there right from the beginning. Practice meditators feel it almost instantaneously when they start meditation every day. It's easy for them to access this state of quietness, filled with bliss, which is your attention turned upon yourself. After a while, the feelings are so powerful that you can no longer think or move. You're just stunned by the power and presence of you. All you want to do is be with yourself in the quietness like this, because you feel bliss. You feel no thoughts, just silence. And over a period of time, you notice that your meditations start going deeper and deeper. Because when you close your eyes and shut off the mind and sit in quietness, the meditation begins and it deepens until you're no longer aware of the world around you. You might say you've gone to sleep because you're aware of nothing. What you're doing is you're resting in your primary self, the experience of being close to your own self, loving your own self, feeling yourself from all different aspects, and finding out that the most powerful sort of search that one can engage oneself into in one's life is to close your eyes and become aware of yourself and how it's spread around the body, how it changes during the day. First it's stronger, then it wanes, less strong. But after a while, it's pretty steady. You've tamed self-investigation. This is no mean task or accomplishment, because the reward is peace. It's a very new kind of peace. It's living in a world without words, without thought. You've deepened enough in your spirituality that what's going on inside of you, it's all pointed inwards. One loses sight of the world altogether. You become consciousness. Mostly, this is accompanied by great bliss. And the bliss itself is what you become. Who would ever know that sitting by yourself, examining your mind within, would lead to the most profound state of wholeness, of emptiness, of bliss, where you want to stay all the time. When you're in that quiet state, you're inside your own body, your awareness is inside of your own body. It feels bliss. If you stop moving your body, stop moving your mind, that bliss has room to grow and grow and grow. You might say, but I'm not looking for bliss. I'm looking for understanding. No, actually, these new things you're feeling become your new understanding. Previous to this, understanding was no more than book understanding. Understanding concepts, reading about them, trying to clarify them. But what we practice in meditation is direct awareness of ourselves, of our bodies, our breathing, our energies, our sense of self, and the center of consciousness. So when you can see through it, see this with the mind that's been trained in meditation. There's all sorts of things you can deal with. You learn how to manipulate various aspects of your waking dream that you find in meditation. There's some people, when they hear about this, say to themselves, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for wisdom and understanding. Well, the state is changed. Now the tip of the sphere of consciousness in you has been activated, and all of your awareness has congealed into one meditating entity. This entity becomes your other life. It's your inner life. You have one life outside, and with meditation, you've opened up room inside that can match the structure and complexities of the outside world awareness. You could say What spirituality is all about. Mastering inner awareness through practice, repetition. But you can say it with more kind of spiritual explanation by calling it the bliss of Sangha, or the bliss of stillness, or the bliss my body feels when it's just aware of itself alone. You know where you are now, if you can follow what I've been saying. Is that you have a different place, a new place to go, to find peace, to find wisdom. And that's exploring yourself with your own mind. But it's not something you learn so much as you experience changes in your consciousness on the way to having perfect consciousness, where inner and outer are equally aligned. You're at rest and at peace. And you're filled with the knowledge of yourself, which people of the world really wouldn't find valuable. But you find it valuable because associated with being in that state and having feelings about it. The most important aspect, at least initially, is how much wonder one feels when one is silent and steadily focused on understanding yourself. And now, as you stop meditating and come back to everyday life, you'll feel that the awareness of your inner self continues even while you're entering everyday affairs. Also, the more you focus your mind on your mind, the more you begin to understand the nature of mind, the objects of mind, including the self. Jay, could you tell me what you're experiencing now?
I'm sorry, did you call on me, Edgy?
Yes.
Oh, I'm drifting in and out of bliss. It's intense, it's exquisite. Somehow, I don't know, just the cadence of your voice, the power of the life force becomes so exquisitely available. It as I said, I in pure advaita, I feel like I need a lot more laps, but it gives me a template to live in the mundane world, and boy, that's intense. Um, nowhere, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just let it go, put it down. I love you, and the Sangha requites such joy and grace to me and bliss. You always do. Thank you.
I'd like to ask you, you've never got another cat?
No, I still think Gypsy comes to see me. I think they say when you think of them, sometimes they're there. It's not the same. We've been traveling a lot, but we just did a big trip to Japan, and we're not going anywhere now. I mean, under the circumstances, I think about it all the time. I, I, she was gentle and a joy. Every little cat, why would cats ever want to be anything but cats? I mean, they just fast track it back here. So, I mean, I think every cat we had is somewhere bringing joy to some other family. And yeah, I'd love to do it again, but we'll see. I'm sorry that you lost a cat recently.
Yeah.
Again, there's just a gentle joy, and again,
People may not know that don't have cats. That cats really are all about quietness, except when they're playing, of course. But there's something like you get the feeling that they're there to experience what's going on in the room, including themselves, who can see a ball of consciousness in action that way. And you can do it with yourself then too, after finding that with the cat. Your own awareness and how it extends, how it encloses you and traps you and expands you.
They're never entirely here. They're always sort of like from another dimension, whatever that means. I mean, it doesn't mean, but that's true. They're a manifestation of God's love, just a fur ball that just, they get it all done. And I mean, in the whatever whatever we construe the mundane world to be, their exquisite bliss that just makes it all doable and livable. So yeah, we may do it again.
Michael, what do you feel?
Can you hear me? Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for everything you do, coming here and teaching us all. And I mean, you've made such a huge difference in life for me, and I can't thank you, but I mean, words can't express the thanks that I have for you. But what I feel right now is I don't know. I don't have a choice in regards to what I'm going through now. The expansion of the divine as an expansive force versus the stillness of the void. I've been trying to concentrate on the stillness of the void, but what's happening with me is that my consciousness is actually expanding out, and I'm interacting with the active divine versus the quietness. So I'm just letting it go and enjoying that, because it seems like if I try to force myself to go into the void, it pulls me back out, and I'm feeling the expansiveness of the divine. It's actually what you were talking about earlier in the satsang, that that response that started on a meditation level is actually happening on a physical level, where the whole world just seems like a bubble, like like your consciousness envelops the mountains, the trees, and it seems like you're not even living on the planet anymore. That you're on your own. That you're on your own timetable and your own manifestations. It's like so I'm just going with it and enjoying everything. I can't say, I don't want to use the word enjoying. I'm just trying to be still with the activeness. And I guess, is that what am I supposed to do? Just to go with that expansive divine versus bringing it back into the void?
Yes. Yes. Just let it expand and then watch it, because that will change too at some point. Everything changes.
And the other thing I've noticed is that what made a big difference for me is, and I noticed in life, if you don't make God alone, in other words, make it God first or divine first, you never reach the levels you want. The doors don't seem to open as easily. In other words, if you are worried too much or you're too concerned about liking, let's say, your job or education or the stock market, or if it seems almost like the divine knows and says, hey, don't drop it. If you don't make me number one, I'm not going to totally reveal myself to you. So I had this tug of war all these years, and it's almost like that biblical passage. And I don't really read the Bible, but there's one thing in there that I always remember when I was a kid. I'm a jealous God, and it almost goes to, it's just telling the primitive people that, hey, you got to put God number one, or you're never gonna, the doors won't truly open for you. And when I'm adopting more of that, it's sinking in, and instead of trying to try hard to meditate, it seems like it's pulling you toward it. It's like it's showing you, as long as you are in your heart truthfully love the divine. And so it's really a special thing, and I really can't thank you enough for opening that for me, Ed. I really love you, and thanks for doing this all for me, because all my life, I guess wasn't looking was part of the problem. It's like what you said, you got to let it happen, and let your heart really find itself.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
As I sit here in silence with you, my body is bursting with joy. It's the joy of silence, the happiness of silence and peace. And in such a world, the presence of your own cat can be a most enlightening experience when you feel you're knowing the cat the same way it knows itself. This train of thinking is one where the exploration of consciousness is everything. It's all about understanding consciousness by paying close attention to consciousness and how it changes and how it makes you feel when it changes. Do you have any meditation music?
Did you say you wanted some music?
Meditation music.
Meditation music. Okay, one sec.
Okay. I urge you to, if you can, spend the next couple of hours continuing to look into yourself and feel into yourself until you can't stand doing it anymore. It used to be this internal feeling and internal vision. Love you all. God loves you all. And most of you love each other too. Take care. Bye-bye.